I could put you in the brig for what you've done, but I won't do it.
Two L's, one pod, the spinoff of the web series The Two Dicks, which is these detectives in the 50s in black and white comedy series. It's on YouTube, maybe coming back later this year. We'll see what happens with that. And I'm Al Romas. I'm in Florida. I'm Clearwater, Florida. That is El Ducharme. I know that. I know that cabinish look. He's on though. He's about to swallow it. He's about to take it whole. Open that maw. Get it. Get it. You son of a. Take it. Oh, he's taking a call. He's just taking a call. I thought he was taking the but he's just taking a call.
I'm on the phone with the monkey.
Sorry. And we don't know where Al is. I forget what ship he's on. He's on a ship, and let's check in right now. Alfredo, how are you and your banana doing on this Friday record?
My banana is ready to peel, baby. Those of you that are listening, I actually have a banana. It's my breakfast I haven't had yet, and I've had one full coffee, working on the second. So I'm a little jittery, and I'm keeping my banana handy.
Hey now,
just in case I get a little. And I'll give you a hint what ship I'm on. I'm on a cruise ship, yes. If you're wondering, that was your clue.
Oh, gotcha. Disney Wonder. He's on the Disney Wonder. Al performs for the children on Disney, and they love him.
No, I perform for the children at the playgrounds. I wear sunglasses, and I have a trench coat.
Hey now.
And we play Muppets.
What is that? How do you play Muppets?
Use your imagination.
Wow.
Okay,
little
Willy
Kermie.
Wonka.
Got little
Willy
Kermie
Wonka.
down there, and I wasn't I was not maybe I was too old. I don't know. I wasn't really a Sesame Street guy. I don't know when that came out. I feel like I was a little, past that with the Kermit the Frog and all that.
Well, because
shit.
there's a 15-year age difference, I was more into the reruns of the Brady Bunch in the afternoon after school, and Leave It to Beaver in the morning prior to school.
Hey now, what were what's the dirtiest words ever said on television?
You know it.
Hey Ward, you were a little hard on the beaver last
night.
Those were simpler times.
Yes. In the 1950s, there was a television show called Leave It to Beaver about a pure American family, two brothers living with dad and mom, and everything was kind of perfect, and the kids going to get into mischief.
She wore pearls around her neck as she cooked dinner. A pop
pearl
roast.
Necklace. Pearl necklace. Was that? What was that? ZZ Top.
ZZ Top. But she had a dress and a pearl necklace and making a pot roast while the husband read the newspaper on the living room couch. And
it was
one of those jobs we didn't know.
Yeah.
What did he do? He left the house in the morning.
She was a housewife.
Yeah, what did he do?
Was it advertisement? I don't know. No, that was Darren from Bewitched.
I don't think it was ever said.
Yeah. Well, anyways, these shows went off the air before we were broadcasting, before we were, I think, born. And then they were in rerun syndication when there was only like 3 or 4 networks. And we used to watch them in the morning before school, eating cereal.
Yeah, remember
6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning.
There was no internet, of course, and so people would make shit up. Remember, there was a character on there, Eddie Haskell, who would, and he became like a thing in the zeitgeist or whatever you want to call it, where if someone kisses your ass, but they're really a piece of shit, they're an Eddie Haskell. And then there were rumors he was a porno actor. Then he was killed in Vietnam. I remember like being a kid and hearing like, "Yo, Eddie Haskell died in Vietnam," and I'm like, "Holy shit!" Then a couple years later, he's making porn in L.A. It's like he became a cop. Most of those guys
became a Los
really
Angeles
actors.
Police officer. Yeah,
they just had to get jobs, and
that was it.
Plus, he was typecast as hell. I mean, he's Eddie Haskell.
Yeah, he was Eddie Haskell. So he did however many seasons. He was a recurring character. He wasn't on every episode. So here he was, a young 12-year-old maybe to his early teens.
Right.
And syndication, there wasn't that many programs, so they repeated it over and
And
over
they
again.
didn't make that money. They didn't make
No,
today.
no
No money.
residuals. So he went out and
No.
got himself a Los Angeles police officer job.
Yeah, he was crooked as hell and made millions, I heard, and executed Mexicans, and he was like he was the model for Denzel in Training Day,
That's
but no
right.
one talks about that.
What's the
Yeah.
line from Denzel in Training Day? What's the
What's the
famous
line?
line? Yeah, he had a line,
Uh,
famous line
um.
in that movie.
Oh yeah. Maybe when
What
he's
was?
outside at the end, I'm King Kong.
That's right.
I'm King Kong.
Yeah.
I'm King Kong. I'll put cases on all you motherfuckers. You'll be playing basketball in Pelican Bay.
How you didn't get that role over Denzel, I will never
I was
figure
on a
out.
ship. I didn't get to audition. I was on the Fuck Me of the Seas, and I had a sore throat that evening, but I did 3 shows.
Oh, so you had your morning banana as well. That's why you had a sore throat.
I know.
All right.
Hey, I was just
I
reading what before we hit the mics and turned on the ones and the twos. The entertainment world is rocked this morning. Rocked. The entertainment world rocked. Breaking news.
You're
Breaking
gonna have to fill
news.
me in. We changed the clock twice, and I literally rolled out of bed. So I went right for the coffee, ran back down to my cabin, and I hooked up everything to talk to you. So I have not put on any television. I've not read any tweets. I've been off social media. You are my first thing that I saw in the morning, and it's a little rough
All
for
right.
me
All right.
seeing you. But
Ah.
please fill me in. What happened?
Well, legendary, legendary drummer Pete Best has retired from show business at 83. He made an announcement. He made an announcement that he will be
What?
retiring from show business.
Didn't he
Want to go,
retire in
Pete?
1963?
That's true. That's right. you, yes, yes. Pete Best has retired from show business.
Now, those of you that don't know, Pete Best was the original drummer for the Beatles, and he was replaced by Ringo Starr. And I don't know what the exact reason was. You hear a couple of different reasons, but Al is a Beatles expert.
No.
So you tell me. And the late Dan Gerstenlauer, who just
Yes.
passed away about a month ago,
Mm.
was on the Beatle Off episode of the Two Al's, One Pod, when we were called the Two Dicks. Uh, but we also had Johnny Peasy,
Mm-hmm.
and I was the moderator. But you are pretty knowledgeable. You all kind of was like a
Well, I
three-way
think I
tie.
am, and then I went on a friend's pod, a Beatle nerd, and boy, he knows every. It's one
Uh,
of those levels. It's the thing with levels. Like if I'm
yeah,
hanging out with, you know, Kelly and whatever, I know a lot. But if I hang out with the real fuckers, they're telling me, the running time of Eleanor Rigby and whatever. I'm like, okay, that's weird. I
yeah.
don't
That's
go
what
there.
I think with Dan and Johnny Peasy, it was very similar. They
Hmm.
and you had some great pulls, by the way. I'm not demeaning you at all in that regard, but they had that extra little nerd. I liked how Johnny was adamant about something, and then Dan came in and said, "Well, actually, it was a la la la," and Johnny would go,
Right.
"Oh yeah, you're right."
Right, right. And it's one of those things too. You're a fan of something from 60 years ago, so the stories are all, and they always say the person who doesn't know the story at all, the two that really have no idea, it's McCartney and Ringo,
Yeah,
because they've told these fables for so long, they don't even know
right.
how it. So no one really. But anyway, Pete Best, he was very popular with the ladies, and but the real thing was he wasn't as good as
We
Ringo, and
yeah, we are.
they heard Ringo and they were like, we want him. But anyway, Pete Best has retired from show business at 83. He, I don't know what business he was in exactly, but he retired from it.
Was he producing? Was
No,
he doing sessions?
no, he was a civil servant for 40 years. He drummed a year or two after the Beatles made it, and he tried to, kind of. He had an album called like Best of the Beatles, so it sounded like a greatest hits, but it was really Pete and his band, with originals, that kind of shit.
Uh,
Um, but didn't make any money until
he
the
became a Los
1990s.
Angeles police officer. After he
Yes,
was
and he was
after
killed
he
in
was a
Vietnam.
he was killed in Vietnam, but then he was making porn as a constable in
Hey now.
London for a while, and he
Mm,
got run out of town.
yeah. But he actually did make some money in the 90s. And there's a controversy there. For the anthology series came out, he plays drums on a lot of the old
Right.
stuff, so he had to get paid. So McCartney likes to tell a story of calling Pete Best one night and saying, "Hey Pete, you're going to come into some big money here." So blah blah blah. And he was very proud of himself. And then you can go on YouTube. There's interviews with Pete going, "He never fucking called me." He goes, "I don't know why he says that." He goes, "He never called me." He goes, "It was somebody from Apple just called and said, you're getting paid." But he goes, "It was not McCartney." So
Uh, McCartney said,
take
"Call
that
him,
with what you will.
call Pete. I don't want to talk to him. Tell him that he's coming into some big money."
Yeah, I don't see McCartney making that call.
That
But
where McCartney becomes Donald Trump,
mm,
our president Donald Trump? Is that where
mhm,
he says, "I talked to them, I spoke to them. They're very anxious." It's like, dude, you did not speak to 300 people today.
right.
You have
Well,
assistants, you have a
yes,
team. It's
yes.
called an administration, and they're all. Did you see the televised the cabinet meeting, and everybody was sucking his dick on the cabinet meeting? I'm sorry, I jumped over. It was
Oh,
just,
no, I didn't see that.
sir, if it wasn't for you doing this,
Ugh.
whether you agree with Trump or not, it was
Yeah,
just a big
it's
suck
gross.
off. It was a
Well,
big
who's the
suck off.
guy? I think he's the head of I don't know which department. Finance? Is he? He was at Lupkin. Or this guy?
Yeah.
Boy, he is the ultimate. He just bows down and kisses his ass and sucks his cock every 2 minutes. It's almost as bad as Vance when he was with the Ukraine president. Remember, he goes, "Did you thank the president? Did you thank
Yeah.
him? You haven't thanked him enough. Thank him again. Thank him again. Come on, do it right now in front of
You
everybody.
saw what he did to everybody.
Come on, thank him again. Thank him."
I don't know how we get off on that. I started that. That's why. But
You took it out of Pete. It's a big day in show business. Pete Best is
I
retired.
know.
Uh,
The world of music will never be the
well,
same.
what you
Thump,
do,
thump,
Dub,
thump, thump, thump.
make some cocktails today, folks, and put on your Pete Best records and
Because
kick back
music's
and
over.
enjoy and thank him for years and years
I'm
of
contributing to the art.
contributing to our lives. And John Heyman, do you remember the comic John
Hold
Heyman?
on, I'm calling
Oh, you got
Pete
a call.
Best right now to let him know that he's
Oh,
making
okay.
another good residual check. Because once we mention it, there's going to be a lot of views on
Oh, right,
YouTube and whatnot.
right.
So
I
because
didn't know
our
you had
numbers,
Pete's
we
number.
move the needle. We move the
How do
needle.
you how do you knew Pete? You should have broke
It's
the story
busy.
then.
Of course, everybody's calling him right
Ah,
now.
well, he's doing interviews all day long. I mean, this is the biggest story in many
In his
years.
career.
There was a comedian in New York, John Heyman. Am I right on that name?
I don't know
John?
that name.
I'm kidding. John Heyman. He was beyond. He was older than us, but he was still in New York in the early '90s. Anyway, he had a joke of a day in the life. He would just go a day in the life of Pete Best out of like nowhere. And people were like, "Who's Pete Best?" But he would go a day in the life of Pete Best, and then he would get out of bed, look in the mirror, go fuck, and go back to bed.
So the
A day in
Beatles
the life.
fans would howl, the five people that were in the audience that knew what
It
he was
was
talking
great.
about.
Yeah,
That's
but
very funny.
it is very. I mean, how many mornings did Pete have doing that?
Well, let me ask you a question. What was the fallout? Was it a McCartney Pete
No
Best,
real.
or was he just a
No,
ladies' man? He wasn't focused
he
because
he
McCartney
was.
was the guy that was
Yeah,
cracking the whip, right?
yeah. But John and Paul and George agreed. Ringo would he would sit in with them in Hamburg, change the band, change the sound,
Yeah.
and they wanted that. And Pete didn't. He was a decent drummer. He didn't have that ability to just jam and go. And thank God, because you look at how fast they changed. I mean, Pete Best drumming on Revolver. Tomorrow Never Knows. I mean, Rain. He wasn't that guy. He was the guy who played classic rock, and could keep a beat. Like Lennon says in one of the interviews, just because he could hold a stick, we're supposed to keep him for, forever. I mean, he really leveled him there because he's just saying like he was sucked, but he goes, "Well, you're supposed to just keep him because he can hold a stick." It's like,
Now I heard other musicians say that Ringo had his own style. He brought his own style. Like he would lean into
yeah,
the lean into it a
Yeah.
certain way. It made a certain sound that was different.
Right, because he's
That would
playing. He's
punctuate.
really playing lefty, and
Right.
so he's got his arm always crossed over,
Uh-huh.
and guys have always like figured out like how does he make that sound? There's a weird sound.
Mm.
Yeah, because he's a lefty and he's just crossed over, and he made his own way. He never practices. He drums to whatever the moment is, and he's in the moment,
Mm.
and he's fantastic. But people like to make fun of him or downgrade him because they look at the video, and it just looks simple, because
Right.
compared to today. But a lot of the great drummers have all said,
They
he's
appreciate
one of the
him.
he's the
Yeah,
best.
yeah.
I mean, really, he might be the best. So, Pete Best was just a guy, and his
Isn't it
mother
funny?
owned.
Ringo is the best and Pete Best is the worst.
There you go. Yes, ironic. Let's clip it. Clip that.
That's a
Boom.
Ringo. That's
Look
a
at this.
Ringo.
Look.
Yeah, what do you got, an
Look
animal?
at this, by the way.
Is that from Teddy or an insect?
I gave blood on Monday,
Oh,
and it's so
wow.
bruised. And it's one of those that didn't hurt at all.
Right.
And then 5 days later, I've got a nasty.
You got a little infection, pal. Did you put
Bru-
something on it?
You think that's infected?
Well, it's funny. You should mention that. The
I
last
don't know.
couple of years, I feel like I've aged a decade, and I'm getting that what old people would get. They would get like a little nick, and
Yeah.
instead of going away in 2 or 3 days,
Oh yeah.
it's like there for weeks. I'm like, what the
Right.
fuck? I'm healing
Right.
so much slower.
Yeah.
But
That was.
I had an insect bite on my leg, and I
Mhm.
picked at it when I was in Aruba, and of course, it was an insect that I've never seen before in my life. And
Zika.
it would just like keep like coming back, So I
Yeah.
had to put
That was.
some ointment on it and whatnot, and it finally went away. But it's like, what the hell?
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought this was a bruise, but
I would
might
when
have-
you're in the shower,
Yeah.
squeeze that shit out, put some
Hey
Neosporin
now.
or
What?
wipe, even some alcohol, whatever you have, disinfectant. Get rid of that shit.
Alcohol? What kind of showers do you take? I don't. What,
I
do you have a
drink
full bar
I
in
drink
there?
beer. Yes, I drink whiskey and beer in the shower.
Nice. That's pretty
Want
cool.
some soap, shampoo? Nope. I'm
Nice. I
gonna
like it.
rinse with Woodford Reserve.
Yeah, I gave the blood work and all came back. Fucking knock on wood, but
Dude,
excellent numbers. Thank God.
mine too.
Mm.
So what's going on here? Why are we like you and I kind of doing the same thing? First
Mhm.
3 or 4 months out of the year, getting all our
Get it all done.
appointments because of our schedules are nuts.
Yeah.
Get it all done, all our X-rays. I'm going in for my teeth cleaning, and they want to do X-rays again and all that, which I think is a scam.
It's a scam.
They wanted to do X-rays. I switched dentist
Mm.
one time, and they wanted to do X-rays right away. I'm like, no, I just had X-rays done 6 months ago. 'Cause
Yeah.
when do you get X-rays? Once every year or two?
I thought it was every year. I don't know, but I don't know.
I said
But I go to Cozumel.
I said it's.
so.
I've had it. Where do you go?
Cozumel.
Oh, you're doing that now, yeah?
Yeah.
Cozumel, Mexico.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I'll be in Cos Wednesday, but I'm not going to the dentist. I'm going on Icon tomorrow. 1 week. It was supposed to be 2 weeks, but I canceled the second week because I'm getting my eyes cut. Cut me, Mick.
Got me,
Cut me. Cut me, Mick. Cut me.
This guy's gonna knock you to Mars Rock.
Cut me, Mick. Cut me. Isn't it weird? I was telling Kelly tonight, I'm like, I'm just going to go to this place and let this man just cut my eyes. Like, who the fuck is he?
Yeah, dude, we
Yeah.
just had this conversation on the last podcast about me getting
Well,
a
it
colonoscopy.
freaks me out. It's like, what are we doing?
They wheel me. They put me on a gurney. They wheel me in. I was on the street people there,
But
and they're
you
like,
don't know if he's
gloves.
qualified. You don't know who
They're
these
like,
people
hi,
are.
we're going
Yeah.
in your ass right now. I'm like, okay, you guys are
Yeah,
professional,
a lot
right?
of trust.
Could have been a janitor.
A lot of trust going on here. I'm going to let this guy just cut my eyes open. I'm like, who the fuck are you? I don't know who he is.
No,
Oh, he's good. He's good.
he's one of the best.
That's what they say. He's a top man. Top
He's only
man.
lost 2 patients so far this year.
The
The average is 5.
Oh, hey, speaking of things we talked about, did you see that commercial or the trailer yet for The Naked Gun with Liam Neeson?
Ugh.
Like, what are they doing?
That was
What?
like the Pink Panther with Steve Martin. I was like, ugh.
I just don't. I
You're
don't.
taking these classic movies
and change it completely. Change it.
70-something-year-old dudes.
I don't get it. It annoys
when
the
these
fuck out
movies
of
were
me.
popular, those guys are in their 40s, right?
Oh, he's Leslie Nielsen was got to be. Don't you think he was in his 50s in Naked Gun?
What I'm saying is these guys are 20 years older than them. And Leslie Nielsen was one of those guys that had white hair from the time
right. I
he
see
was
what
like
you're saying.
25.
Yeah.
So he always looked older. And
Yeah.
and these guys are 20 years older than they were when these movies were popular. And it's not working. It looks
I
too
don't.
desperate.
I don't understand.
How does that come up to Lisa Neeson? Hey, this came
Say
across.
his name again. Say his name again. Say it again.
No. No. Dude, I'm trying to wake up.
We got to talk about this. How does this come across to Lassie Harafi?
We got to talk about this because this is
time
nuts.
is it? Roatan. What's going on here?
Yeah. See this? They put
well,
these on your
that's
door?
You know why that is. That's not. It has nothing to do with the passengers getting back on time. Has nothing to do with any of that. It's all for the captain to make his bonus. So if they change the clocks to get you back an hour earlier, and then he doesn't worry about people being late. So that time change is all horseshit. Has nothing to do with the island or the people or blah blah blah. It's
because
just
the ship will wait an extra 45 minutes an hour for passengers.
Right.
When they
so
say,
now he's
don't
got you on.
Late. Yeah.
And he gets because he sails with his full allotment of fuel instead of losing an hour while.
But some captains will do it and others will not.
True. Yeah. Yeah.
So here's what happened.
The ones who do it are maniacs with it. Like they'll do it every day. I mean, it's crazy.
I was on a ship.
Like a 4-day cruise. We're turning clocks back. What are we doing?
I was on a cruise, whatever, a few weeks back, a month ago, and they changed it an hour every day for 4 days.
That's retarded.
They went back an hour one day, back an hour the following day, and then they started going back.
Oh my God.
So over 4 days, the clock changed 4 times, and
ridiculous. What are we doing?
My phone was on one time, my television was on another, my head was crazy. So I come back to my cabin after moving my clock back an hour, and we went to Roatan yesterday, and I'm like, mother. So I find this on my door.
What time is it?
And I don't read it.
Oh.
And it says, yes, it's on me. It says, what time is it? Roatan. So I just throw it. I'm like, come on. And I put my clock back another hour. It's saying the ship, stay on ship's time. Don't go on Roatan time. It's an hour difference.
Well, you fucked up.
And I got room service the next day in Roatan.
Okay.
And they delivered it 25 minutes early.
Right.
So they're knocking on my door.
And you're naked.
At 7:10 a.m.
Yes. Naked.
I wasn't planning on getting up until
fully erect.
8:20 a.m. I set my so they woke me out of a dead sleep.
Oh no!
An hour and 10 minutes before I was going to wake up.
His breakfast.
Oh,
this is tragic. This is tragic. You were woken early from a dead sleep, so a breakfast could be delivered to you.
An hour and 10 minutes early, and I was fully erect because I had the piss hard on. My bladder was full, and
you had a piss on what?
I literally, I have
hard on piss. Hard
I had like I had like boxer shorts, pajamas, like my father would wear, but I had a tent, and I'm like, hold on a second, wait a minute, and I'm trying to like.
Don't you feel like? Don't you? Because I'm the same. I would tell you with massages, I'm embarrassed. Do you get I get embarrassed if I just woke up and this poor guy's delivering me breakfast. He's probably been up for 12 hours. He doesn't sleep at all. And I'm there rubbing my eyes. Oh, good morning.
But I'm like St. Patrick trying to chase the snakes away.
I don't know that reference.
St. Patty's Day. He chased the snakes out of Ireland. So I have this erection.
Oh. Is that why we drink in the streets?
I'm doing the hand gesture for the people on Patreon. I have my cane, my staff. I'm trying to get rid of the staff.
He's jerking off, folks.
There's a lot of wordplay here. There's a lot of wordplay and
all for a hand job joke.
There was 3 jokes in one.
All right. three jokes in one.
I said staff, chasing the snakes away, St. Patty's Day.
Did they bring you did they bring the breakfast because of the time change? Is that why it was early to you?
No, it's on me, like you said.
Right.
This notice said stay on the ship time, don't change it to
Right.
Rotan
Oh, and you
time.
changed it.
Whereas a
Yeah.
month ago, the captain kept changing the clock. So I just
Right.
saw it on my door when I was coming in and I threw it because I was annoyed thinking I had to put my clock back. So I went right in
Right.
my phone, put the clock back. That's why I had slept like 4.5 hours, 5 hours
Mm,
tops.
mm.
And I was looking forward to 7, but it didn't work out.
Gotcha. But why set a breakfast? That's early anyway if you're working at night. I mean, I do a breakfast. Yeah, you can deliver that thing at 9 because they get there then at 9:30. 7:30 or whatever. That's early after working at night. Don't you think?
8:30 to it says 8:30 to 9 on the card.
Okay.
And with the time change, that would be 9:30, 10.
Oh, right.
So,
I forgot the time
but
change.
the thing is, they're delivering it 25 minutes early.
Yeah, I've had both. I've had the hour early or almost an hour and then the
Nobody's
hour
following
late
this.
where
Nobody's
you
following
call
this.
and then you call and you don't because I don't even know if the card got picked up. We have a card you put outside the door and some kids could take it and then you're waiting in the morning and you go, "Well, I don't have my breakfast. It's happening." Oh, you look like you were frozen. We good?
You were, but I heard all your audio's there.
All right, my audio. Um, yeah. So what else is happening, man? Who you working with this week? Anybody good? Anybody we know?
Yeah, a guy named Slade Ham out of Houston. He's done a lot of the tours overseas, 60 countries, uh, and he's yeah, a nice guy.
I
We
just put
we
that order in for Easter.
Slade
Slade
Ham.
ham. Yeah, that's what I'm having for Easter Sunday. That should not have taken 3 minutes for you to fucking
I'm a little
hit.
cobwebby. I already
Little
mentioned that.
cobwebby.
Mhm.
Speaking of cobwebby, so yesterday, half the time when I'm home, all you do is try to figure out what the hell we're gonna do for dinner. You know what I mean? That's always it's a big. What are we doing? We're doing for dinner. What do you want to do for dinner? So we couldn't figure anything 2 nights ago. So ended up I went and picked up at Panera Bread.
Now, this he
Panera
says.
Bread.
Al says we. He means him and his girlfriend Kelly, and they
Yeah,
cohabitate together. Go ahead.
that's right. Live in sin. And so Kelly gets on the laptop there and she's doing the order and she's going to pay for it and I'll just go pick it up. Great. So she's like, "Well, what do you want?" I go, "I want the Southwest chicken sandwich, half, and then a salad."
Mhm.
So she's looking at the website and I go, "I don't want red onion on the sandwich. Just
Mhm.
take out the red onion." So she hits the minus on the red onion.
Mhm.
But somehow, I don't know how she did this. She was hitting minus on everything but red onion.
See, you got a bowl of red onions delivered.
Yes. So then she goes, "What about the salad?" I go, "Take out the avocado. I don't want avocado." So she does basically the same thing again, but only leaving avocado. So anyway, I go to Panera 20 minutes later. Bag is sitting on the counter. It's all paid for. It's all ready. I look in there. Oh, a couple of salads, couple of sandwiches. Good to go. Take it and go. Come home. Kelly pulls out the what would be the salads. They're a little small, and she looks in. She goes, "What's this?" It's a cup of avocado. That was one because the salad was supposed to be everything but avocado, and somehow she put minus everything except avocado. So these geniuses at Panera put some avocado in a cup and put a top on it. Then they looked at the next order, got some bread, toasted it, and put a couple of strings of red onion on it. Folded it, bagged it up, and was ready to go. So that was my dinner from Panera Bread was a roll with some red onion strings and a cup with some avocado.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Kelly, who's on the computer because she works remotely, maybe her eyes were fried from the day before. And
that must have been it.
it could have been that could have been an issue, and a combination of why didn't they give you a regular size salad loaded with avocado and onion in one container? That's because they all See, you do a gummy before you go to bed. They
I
do a
think,
gummy when they go to work.
yeah, and I think Kelly might have even hit minus lettuce because there was no lettuce. I think she just wiped out everything but the thing I didn't want. But the idea of that they didn't put that to or go, hey, this can't be right. What are we doing? You know, the guy wants bread with an onion string on it. But it was wrapped up in the paper. They went, and then I looked at the receipt, and you got the receipt. There it is.
Well,
It's all there. So I mean, I couldn't
let's
even complain because
right.
it was our
No,
fault.
no, yeah, it's all there. But let's plug your book. Tell the folks that you have a book out there. It's available on Amazon and whatnot. Trust me
My
on this.
book.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Tell me about your book.
I have a
How about a
book on
hand for the next
Amazon.
guy? Right?
Yeah, how about a hand for the next guy? It's on Amazon. It was written in 1848, and it sells 3 or 4 copies every year at this
Right.
point. Yeah.
But your next one is going to be a blockbuster.
Oh,
It's called Minus Lettuce. You didn't know where I was going. You
minus
didn't know where I
lettuce.
was
There
going.
we go. I didn't know.
I
I
like
didn't know
that
where we
title.
were going.
I like minus lettuce.
That's not a bad title. I like it. What time is it? What do you have there in your row of 10
I have
or wherever
11.
you are?
I have 10:38 my time. We got about 12 minutes left before you have to shove
Okay,
off.
I got to shove. So where are you today? What's the port of call?
We are in the beautiful Costa Maya, which used to be kind of like one of my favorite ports at one time before they built this infrastructure that doesn't allow you really to go outside of the port
It's a maze.
unless you go through a maze, a gauntlet of, and it's kind of it's American made, Mexican theme, but
It's
it's
stupid.
just not authentic. And you used to
It's
be able to go
stupid.
right into a village here,
Right.
and that village is dead now. And then you
Yeah.
could go take a taxi or even walk to the beach. And I used to do that
And the
frequently
beach
if
is
it wasn't
dead now.
too, yeah. So you have to go a little further, and they have
Yeah.
like Restaurant Row on the beach, and everything is Mexican priced, where it's a fraction.
Yeah.
And now here in this port, it's just slightly less than American prices. And it's like, I'm not getting the authentic
Yeah. But that's
Mexico.
Mexico too now. I mean, the last time I was in
Yeah.
Cozumel, and I go off the beaten path with
Hmm.
Kelly's cousin and her husband,
Hmm.
and it's no different than anywhere else. I mean, your
Well, it's a little less, but
prices are
it's not like it
still.
used to be. Yeah.
It's not. No, it's not anywhere like it used to be. But remember, we were saying like Poncho's backyard. I went there by
Mm.
myself, and I paid. I think it was
That's yeah,
got
it's
it
all tourist.
$35 or something for lunch,
Yeah,
and
it's
we go.
tourist.
But
I
always
had
was like a $12, you know, lunch place.
I go to a little local place, not La Chosa, but not far from it. It's called Girasoles, and it's mostly local, but it's high-end local. I spent $25 on a margarita, shrimp enchilada, and a beer, and it was 25 bucks. And
That's good.
it used to be like 18.
Oh yeah, but that's good. I mean, margarita, beer, lunch, $25.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's workable. But
If you
I
pay,
had a
here's
little poncho thing without booze,
yeah, that's
and it
crazy.
was almost $40. I'm like, well,
Just
that's
this,
crazy.
here's a tip though.
Oh, a tip coming,
If you
everybody.
pay
Get ready.
cash, you would
Get
think
ready.
you because they accept US currency. If you
Right.
pay cash, it would have been closer to $30. But if you
Mm,
use the card, you get the best exchange rate. They tack on a little
hmm.
extra when you pay cash, which is
Okay.
the opposite of what it should be.
Cash used to be king. Those days seem to be over. I don't hear that express anymore, and I don't think it
How's your
is king.
retirement accounts, by the way?
Trump, we're winning. Winning.
Did you see these market swings?
Winning.
Holy shit.
Yes.
Down
Yes.
3,000, up up
Mm.
1,000, down 1,000, down 1,500. What the hell?
I saw him a clip last night. He's hanging out with a bunch of billionaires in the White House, lol,
Bragging
yucking it
about
up.
how
Yeah,
much money they made.
you made 90 million last night, huh? You made 200
N-
million. Look at you.
What he said one guy made 900 million. Yeah.
900 mil, yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Overnight.
Mm. Mm. Interesting.
Yeah.
And then Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I'm not saying anything. Just, wild.
My retirement account keeps going, hey, we're looking pretty good here. Ooh, um,
Ooh.
you're going to be doing other things and you're going to be
Oh.
doing them longer than you planned.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm,
Hmm.
mm. That's why we got to stay alive for a while, Got to take these
That's what I'm
do all
saying.
the blood
Get your
works and all these things
get
because
checked, get your
yeah.
colonoscopy, get your blood work done every year, get your teeth cleaned every 6 to 10 months. Make sure you get that
Yeah.
plaque out of your teeth so you don't get because plaque goes into your bloodstream and that's what causes
Heart.
blockages,
Yeah, you get
heart
it's
heart
weird, but yeah,
attacks.
the heart
Who
a lot of
knew?
the heart issues are related to the old spikes. True
We never
that.
knew that. We never knew
Of
that.
course not. We didn't know
Remember
anything.
when guys were dying of heart attacks? They said because of cigarette smoking,
Mm-hmm.
which contributed to it. But
Mm-hmm.
with guys that were dying in their 40s and 50s,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the chain smokers especially, it was
Yeah.
also teeth related. They weren't going to the
Well, I knew
dentist.
guys, my father's friends, I mean, men in their 40s who had dentures.
Yeah,
It wasn't a big deal. Like in the 70s, the men just they had dentures. They were kids and they just didn't go to the dentist as kids ever.
they
And
weren't
then they got
brushing.
older and it was just pull them out.
They weren't brushing. You go
No,
to you go to
no.
they brush like once a day or skip a day, and all of a
Yeah,
sudden
it
their
wasn't a
mouth is
thing.
full of all bacteria.
And they never flossed. Floss wasn't around or a thing.
Flossing.
Yeah. But so many of them would have these dentures, and you go, "What the hell's going on here?" But you think about it, they were born in the 30s, you know,
They didn't
and
have dental.
they didn't
My
know
my
anything.
dad my dad went to the dentist when he had an issue,
Sure.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But my
That's
dad
how it
always had a
was.
toothpick. My dad had a toothpick. Always had toothpicks, and he's always like
Yeah.
picking
Feels
stuff
good
out.
to.
So it was a
But
form of flossing.
yeah, they were flossing, and that when you stick that toothpick in there, right in between some couple incisors in the back, that feeling, oh my God, it's tremendous. That is one of the great feelings of all
You are so kinky, dude.
time. Oh, I'll
You are
sit
into
alone
this.
and it's like a Q-tip in my ear. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh,
Get that
ooh,
little eargasm.
ooh.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to have some wax in your ears for protection,
I'm not much of an ear man. I don't know what we're supposed to have.
but if it gets too much, it can cause an issue.
Mm,
So water gets blocked in there, that could get infected. I was prone to earaches when I was younger
yeah.
because I was always like in the bathtub. I was in a pool. I was like, and it would just sit there.
Right.
And but now I make sure my ears are unblocked from all that
Y-
shit.
Yeah, I've been
I
lucky with
take
that.
showers and I'm hardly in a pool or the ocean.
I know. I know. I owned a pool in my house back, and now it's like I haven't been in a pool since then because I don't go in the pool in the ship. I don't think about it. You know what I mean? Like, and
Yeah.
it's also you get to a certain age, you don't think about it really anymore. Like, oh yeah, I wish I could go in a pool now.
We had an above ground pool as kids for like 5, 6 years. But when I was a little tot, we had the little turtle pool. And
Hmm.
in the tub, I was always like dunking my head. I liked holding my breath underwater. I just was into it. And
Hmm.
I was prone to these earaches. No more.
Yeah, I haven't. I'm been lucky with that. No earaches, but yeah, I know. But I like a Q-tip deep in there. I know you're not supposed to go deep. I like it. I like
Yeah.
going deep.
I like when it's a
Like
little
going deep.
itchy and the
Ooh,
fibers from your inner ear are
get in there.
just grazing it and you're just going, ooh.
Get
There's
in
a
there.
point where there's a little bit of enjoyment and then pain.
Mm-hmm. Ah, I love that. I love the line of
You
enjoyment
are
and then
seriously
pain.
into the S&M, the ear
Yeah.
Q-tip S&M guy. There's a whole
Yeah,
website.
right, right. You're enjoying and then pain. That's where I live.
It's in your memoir,
That's
minus
where I live.
lettuce.
What was it? What's the title called?
Minus lettuce.
Minus lettuce. Check it out, folks. It'll be coming to Amazon
Fruit
in the next
stand and vegetable
the
and
next
fruit
few
stand near
years.
you.
Yeah, yeah. That was years ago. God, I wrote that book. I think over 10 years ago. It was
It's an
uh,
evergreen.
and I remember it was I was working Carnival and I was miserable. So I was like, I'm going to get something done. It was like one of those things. Like, I'm going to get something accomplished if I'm going to sit on this fucking Walmart-y cruise ship. And that's how and then I just wrote it. And then I didn't know how to put it together. It was a whole nightmare. But Google is your friend, and you figure shit out. And boom. Sold. Still selling. Still every now and then you make a sale and you have no idea how or why, but somebody Googled you, I guess, and found it. I don't know. So there we are. All right, man.
We'll wrap it up, but my DVD is still selling as well. But the Chinese have grabbed it. And I see it on a Chinese because it will come up in my Google search. What do you call it? Google when you
Google yourself when you
No, I have Google alerts. So whenever my name is mentioned somewhere, I get a
I bet you do.
So then I pull up and my DVD is on sale for like $9.99 or $39.99.
Yeah.
And it's all in Chinese, the writing underneath.
I bought it recently. It's fantastic.
Right.
It is in Chinese, but somehow that made it a little funnier. Gotta be honest. I enjoyed it more.
It translated well, and it was
very well.
You get a twofer. You can get Minus Lettuce by Al Romas and Spineless and Loving It with Al Ducharme. And that's the podcast for today, folks. It's a little short, but we have things and shit to do. Enjoy.
And we'll check on this thing in a week.
We'll check
on this in a week. Yeah.
All right, buddy.
Peace.
All the best to you. Arrivederci.
So long, Al. Have a good trip.
Don't forget to review us and rate us. It really helps.
The Talking Dicks became friends at a very young age, and the rest is history.
A feeding frenzy quickly develops.
This is the 2 Al's 1 Pod podcast. Thanks for tuning in.
Done.
I didn't kill my wife. I don't care.
We'll fix it in post, you son of a bitch.
All right.
Okay, sure.
Subscribe. Mary. This was a horrible mistake.
Patreon.com/2Als1Pod.
If you shoot me, you won't see a cent of that money. Why?
I think it ends on that. That's beautiful.